Okay. Who wants to start?
Start off with maybe the injury report.
The injury report, I wrote down a list here. I think Stanley Morgan practiced more today than he has. Whether or not he'll be able to go full-time starter like he does when he's healthy, I don't know yet, but he will definitely travel. Brian Reimers, same thing. He's practiced today, which was encouraging. So how much he can go, how long he'll go, how they'll split time, we'll see, but he will travel. And, in general, if a guy's traveling, I expect that he plays, so Tyron Ferguson is probably still up in the air, but looked good today and felt the best he's felt. And he showed some confidence, so maybe he'll be going. Cole Conrad practiced, David Neville practiced, Matt Farniok practiced, although he's limited with the big club. Am I missing anybody?
Bryant.
Trey Bryant will not play.
Marcus Newby.
Marcus Newby will not play.
Kalu will not play.
Kalu will not play.
Do you insert Conrad and Neville back into the starting lineup for?
We are going to talk more and announce that Friday evening. Thanks, Brian. Yeah.
The other day, Chris Jones was excited, at least, about getting on the field.
Yeah.
I don't know what's it mean as far as realistically when he can play or can't.
He is. I think he's surprising the medical staff with where he is, and he has really been testing at a high level. So, without being overly ambitious in my statements or optimistic, I'm also encouraged. Now, what that means time-wise, because here, with a long layoff, the one thing you have to remember is there's a difference between being cleared and being ready, and that. So, but whatever the question is about Chris, it's encouraging.
Whether or not Stan has a significant role, what do you have to do with JD? He was your leading receiver last weekend. It seems like he can do a lot of different things.
Yeah, we would like to think that with the core of receivers we have, that they all contribute, and then we'll be at our best. If Stan, I think that we actually had a chance to be like that. But if Stanley, depending on the role that he plays, he's obviously going to be a target for us, and that just helps everybody else if we can get that part of it going.
With Spielman in particular, what is he? Obviously, first year playing. What have you seen from him sort of over the
You know what? The thing I love about JD is he is unfazed about where he is. He's very competitive. He's been very comfortable getting in these games and competing. Doesn't appear to be fazed by it all, and makes plays. And so I'm real excited for him, about him, and how he can continue to impact the game. He's done it in special teams. He's made some nice plays. The slot back position in the offense is, it carries some real responsibility, particularly on third down. So he's obviously a guy that we're relying on.
How much did that last year benefit him? He was really close to playing, right?
Yes, he was. Everybody can see his ability and what he can do, but the fact of the matter, Steve, last year he was a guy converting from being kind of a runner and a defensive back more than a receiver in high school. So, even though we were probably tempted at times, it was probably really good for him and will benefit the overall picture of his career doing what he's doing right now. It's kind of neat. I'm excited about him a lot, and he is a guy that is unfazed and plays hard and kind of wants the ball.
In the time with the wide receivers and the injuries that they've had, did you choose to move any defensive backs over and just give them a look?
We're not too deep in the defensive backfield. It is, we're pretty thin at those spots. It's now, have some of them been talking to you, Sam? That's what defensive backs all want to do. They all want a shot about.
Has it been talking to you?
Huh? No, not really.
Okay.
Now, in my life, yes, that's what they do. Just give me a few plays. I can go do that, you know. And probably in a different environment, it'd probably be real here with this team because we're so thin at wideout. But we're not much deeper on the other side of the ball. So, what we're hopeful for is staying healthy with the guys that are playing and guys coming back. That would be obviously the perfect. If we could describe it, what would happen, that would be great, because we'll be pretty strong, and maybe even Chris Jones is in that conversation. I don't know.
Coach, not sure how much you got to take it all in yesterday, but just your thoughts on having Dave Remington in that interim role.
You know, I got to be in a meeting before the press conference with all the coaches, and Dave was introduced by Ronnie Green to all the head coaches. That was well done, and then actually met with them for about an hour during the lunch period today, just to kind of talk and learn more. I think probably about each other, but it was a great talk. You know, I've met him before, but this is the first time really I've got to spend any kind of quiet time that we can talk. It was very good. Seems like a great person. It's obviously a unique individual when you actually have the award named after you. That's a different. So I'm very respectful of that, what he's done, and it's fun talking football with him.
What to the media, he talked to us about the two priorities he had in the time that he was here at interim AD was to look at the walk-on program and his relationship with former players.
To look at what was the first one?
Walk-on program?
Yeah.
Did he talk to you about that today? And what dialogue did he have with you? And you embraced the walk-on program, so what dialogue was that?
You know, we did talk about that, and he did bring it up, and I didn't know about that comment, but you know, and he basically brought it up in the vein of, man, it was a real benefit to the program in a lot of ways in the past. And you already know how I feel. It's exactly the same. Now the rules have changed a little bit. The numbers, you can't duplicate those numbers under what we have today, but we still are getting players that are impacting playing in the games, and we just get a great job done by the guys that are working their way up to do that and are on the scout team, and we still have a bigger team than almost everybody. So we have embraced it in every way, and you guys already know I've been through this before. I know the impact they've made on this program historically, and I've also got my own great stories. So our door is open. And anyway, we talked about that, and that's a valid thing. And this place is all about caring, and people that have been here caring about it. And our door has always been open to the players from the past. Feel great about the players that have been by and that we've met. So we talked about that a little bit, but not too much.
Was he under the impression, was he surprised that you had embraced it, or like was he under the impression
About the walk-on deal?
Yeah. Did he learn something about you and your program today in that conversation?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what he did know about what we were doing, but you know how that's always a question for me and what I think about it. But I don't know that if anybody really hears that the rules are different. You know what I mean? I think that if we could have more players, we would. But I think our top-off number this year was about 135, something like that. And we had to turn guys away initially. Now we're below that now because of attrition and injury, and we just had a tryout and added 3 or 4 players, I think. So it's a great thing, and that's probably a long enough answer.
Coach, how do you think the team handled the short week in preparation?
Great. I think they did really, really well. I was impressed with you know, how they handled the change. And you know, we haven't been in it that long this season, but you know, we stepped out of the routine and did what we needed to do. Did some stuff with them on Sunday, and then got into a little bit longer Monday. Actually cut down what we normally do on Tuesday, and then today was identical to what I call day 2, 2 days before the game. So, you know, leading up to right to today, I thought they handled it very well, and I believe we're ready to go.
What's this last week been like for you? From last, I don't know, last calendar 7 days.
7 days. Well, you know, I guess that it's one more reminder that you know, that we probably should never be surprised, right? I mean, and it's also one more reminder to me to be really thankful for what you're doing and have. So I'm you know, I told you how I felt about the whole thing, but daily now, you know, the meaning of this day, this practice, it's really is, you know, it probably really sets the focus in a good, and not that, but that I really like what I do, and so it makes me very kind of thankful for all that, and I'm going to take advantage of every minute of it. I'm really encouraged by our team. My thought on this team is we have an opportunity to get better every week, and in doing that, who knows, you know. So, okay, thank you.